this was very helpful in order to make it more concise. All right. Offenses and penalties मैं जब खुद कर रहा था मुझसे हो नहीं रहा था, so I don't have to go through so many things one day before the exam. But hello guys, welcome to another episode of Aspire with Akshat, and on this particular episode we've brought IDT to you. ओके, IDT एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जो आपको एग्रीगेट क्लियर करने में बहुत हेल्प करता है. लोगों को IDT पसंद भी आता है और ये बहुत ही स्कोरिंग सब्जेक्ट है. तो लेट्स बिगिन विद द स्ट्रैटेजी टू गेट गुड स्कोर्स इन योर CA फाइनल IDT. Also, throughout the video, I'll also keep giving bonus tips, so don't miss out on them. Number one is, where did I take my lectures from and what material did I use? Alright, so for lectures, I had taken JK Shah classes only for IDT. In that, I had taken Nitin Nahar sir. So his lectures were very, very good. He gave us such an in-depth understanding of IDT that we started to fall in love with the subject. The way he explained the concepts, it was beautiful, and since you start loving the subject, you yourself want to study a particular subject, and that is what you need. Also, his lectures were not very long. They were 140-150 hours, and उसमें अगर आपका एक CA फाइनल का सब्जेक्ट हो जाता है तो ये बहुत ही अच्छी बात है. As far as material is considered, for the subjective portion, which is your 70 mark portion, I had used a JKSE textbook. Then the class notes which Nitin sir made us write in class. Then he gave us a compiler, basically a question bank, which had MCQs as well as questions, many questions for each chapter. That and the ICI SM was used in IDT, but I'll tell you to what extent it was used ahead in the video. For MCQs, I'd used JKSC question bank only, what Nitin sir had given. It comprised his own MCQs plus ICI MCQ booklet ka MCQs. Plus, if there were any new MCQs launched for my particular attempt, say May 22, क्योंकि question bank तो उससे पहले का आ गया था, तो वो मैंने shortfall ICI के MCQ booklet से कर लिया था. Alright. So also, if you all like the content of this particular video and want to stay tuned for upcoming videos, do it on the like button, the subscribe button, and also on the bell icon button, so that whenever I upload a video, you all are notified. So coming to my first bonus tip. In this case, I had prepared many one-day summary notes कि मैं एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले क्या रेफर करूँगा. ठीक है, तो जैसे आप प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई देखोगे, इट इज़ अ वेरी डिटेल्ड चैप्टर, बिग चैप्टर, बट I'll show you my summary notes which I prepared for place of supply. I'll also put a link for it in the bio so that you all can refer to it. So if you all see these summary notes over here, I've directly just made a summary of basically section 13.2, section 13.3, section 13.4, and directly the place of supply is written instead of the detailed provisions which you get to see in the chapter. This is because exam के एक दिन पहले आपको पूरा chapter पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, because you've already done that before. So this was very helpful in order to make it more concise. Alright. Then coming to what all I studied. So in IDT, there are basically three components to it. One is GST, number two is customs, and number three is FTP. I'll start with FTP. FTP का एग्जाम में कुछ 5-6 मार्क का वेटेज आता है, but according to me it is worth it. Okay, because 5-6 marks guaranteed from a particular chapter, you have to study that particular chapter. And many people think कि FTP बहुत बड़ा होता है, it takes a lot of time. I think that is not true. This is from my own experience. So that is why FTP is a very scoring chapter. Do not leave it. It carries good amount of weightage in the exam for a particular chapter. Then I'll come to customs. Customs का weightage कुछ 20, 25, 30 marks का होता है. And as per my own experience in my attempt, customs was very, very important. They asked a lot of MCQs in customs, in addition to the questions, the subjective questions asked ahead in the paper. So customs भी बहुत important, आप छोड़ नहीं सकते हो. Now comes GST. जीएसटी में दो बाइफर्केशन है, एक तो प्रैक्टिकल चैप्टर्स से अप टू registration and all comprising value of supply, place of supply, time of supply, exemptions, etc. And then other theory chapters say accounts, records, e-way bills, offenses, penalties, then आपका search, seizure, adjudication and all. So as far as practical is considered, we've covered most of this in our inter-CA portion. Alright, so there was, of course, it was a given that I was going to do 100% of the practical. Alright, so up to registration मैंने 100% कुछ भी नहीं छोड़ा. That includes time of supply, place of supply, valuation, composition, exemptions, RCM, ITC, registration and all. After that, start the theory chapters, which are lesser, interesting and all. So what I did for those was I went in order of the weightage, because IDT, generally you want to complete IDT in a smaller duration of time, it being a smaller subject. So isliye for the theoretical chapters of GST, I went in order of their weightage. And if a particular chapter I thought that there'll be a lot of time which will be taken for this chapter and इतना ज़रूरी नहीं कि पूछा जाएगा, ठीक है. So like many smaller chapters are there, like miscellaneous provisions and all, वो कभी कभी आ गया तो आ गया. So for that you all can refer many revision lectures which are available online for JKSC only or of other faculties also. So this is takes care of what all I had referred, all what all subjects I referred, chapters I referred. Now coming to how. How is very important in this particular case, because I've given many strategies which I'd used in order to score 84. Alright. So number one was, as I've said, I'd used revision lectures for few chapters. Like offenses and penalties, मैं जब खुद कर रहा था मुझसे हो नहीं रहा था, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, because it all seemed too repetitive. Alright, so for this I used JKSC revision lecture. This revision lectures can also be taken for other chapters, like say advanced rulings, miscellaneous provisions, then job work and so on. Cool, so that is number one. Number two is ICI SM references. मैंने वीडियो के स्टार्ट में बोला था कि मैंने ICI SM यूज़ किया है इस पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट के लिए. So ICI SM, देखो JKSC के notes were good enough. They covered a lot, and even the question bank covered a lot, but there was still a good amount of questions which I felt were in ICI SM which were not covered. So what I did was that instead of going through the entire ICI SM, I went only through the test of knowledge and the examples given within the chapter. Yes, even those are very important. And मैं जब पहली बार वो एग्जाम्पल्स और टेस्ट ऑफ नॉलेज क्वेश्चंस के थ्रू गया, तो जो भी मुझे थोड़े चैलेंजिंग लगे, मुझे लगा कि वापस मुझे करना चाहिए, आई जस्ट मेड अ रेफरेंस ऑफ इट इन माई JKSC क्वेश्चन बैंक, सो दैट वेन एवर आई हैव कंप्लीटेड से ITC वाला चैप्टर, so from the JKSC question bank, after that I can just after the chapter I get a clear cut reference of the ICI SM questions there and there, so that आगे जब मैं second time पढ़ रहा हूँ, third time पढ़ रहा हूँ या exam के पहले पढ़ रहा हूँ, I don't have to scratch my head and always navigate through the ICI SM pages. So referencing only of the questions, that to the challenging questions in my JKSC question bank, is what helped me a lot. Number three is that I made abundant short examples. Like for RCM, I'll add a picture of this also in the Google Drive link for your reference. So what happens is कि many times we just read a particular theory provision, but when you solve उसका example ना, that is when it's more helpful. Alright, so for RCM also you can see I've just cancelled these because this is another strategy of mine which I'll touch upon in the video. So for this, like say sitting fees paid to independent director, salary paid to MD. So basically बहुत सारे examples अगर आप एक concept पे कर लेते हो ना, तो वो concept आपके दिमाग में strong हो जाता है. So instead of just going through the theory provisions, make such examples of your own, so that you all understand the concept much more better. Number four was that there were many big questions. Okay, JST is a lot of practical things to has a lot of practical questions. So for those, I would again recommend कि solve them खुद से, like ITC and all. Instead of just going through the tuition का conceptual, the tuition का solution, what you should do is that, say if there's a particular entry, sales made within the same state 6 lakhs, sales made to other states 10 lakhs. So think कि इसका क्या ट्रीटमेंट होना चाहिए, एंड देन अगर ट्यूशन के अगर आपके क्वेश्चन बैंक में अगर प्रिंटेड नोट्स है तो जस्ट गो टू द आउटपुट टैक्स लायबिलिटी एंड देन जस्ट थिंक कि इसका क्या होना चाहिए पर्टिकुलर ट्रीटमेंट, एंड देन जस्ट चेक इफ द ट्रीटमेंट मैचेस दैट विद द solution given therein. Do not directly go to the solution, always think before and solve it khud se. That's how you'll be able to tackle such sums in the exam. Then is the highlighting strategy. Like if I were to touch upon this, so this is basically in order to condense the amount of content that you have to read. I'd use this for many chapters including exemptions. Say services by way of public conveniences such as provision of facilities of bathrooms, washrooms, lavatories, urinals or toilets. इतना पढ़ने के बजाय just public conveniences highlight कर दिया, bathroom highlight कर दिया. Services of public libraries by way of lending of books, etc., etc. Just highlight public libraries. So next time you just have to read through this much and you know कि यार ये exempt होएगा. So this is another strategy. Number 6 was that number 6 was that I cancelled many questions and MCQs, ICA MCQs. When I went through them for the first time and the second time and so on, because I thought that these MCQs and questions, I can reliably do them in the exam. So basically the idea is to shorten the amount of questions that you will be going through one day before the exam. Number 7 is that make your own easy notes. Alright, so if there's a chapter like duty drawback in customs, तो अगर आप section 74, section 75, 76 आप देखोगे तो बहुत बहुत detailed and scattered हो सकते हैं. Like so that's why what I did was that this was done in classes only by Nitin sir. So he made us write many summary notes on a particular one page only. So that one page took care of almost the entire chapter. Alright, so section 74 में before use हुआ, after use हुआ, section 75 में what 3 types of rates and so on. I'll just attach a picture of this also in the Google Drive link. So this helped me again to shorten the portion that I had to go through. And say section 74 में before use duty drawback, I've written 98% of duty paid इधर already. तो जो मेरे chapter में जो text जिधर लिखा है same thing, so over there I cancelled it, so I don't have to go through the same thing again. Alright, and basically I kept bringing contents from the chapter, like say अगर after use हुआ तो you have to export it within a particular period of time. When does that start from? So as you can see, I've written that it is the period between the date of clearance for home consumption and the date it is placed into customs control for export. So this is something that Nitin sir had not made us write. I myself took the initiative to write this. तो एक ही पेज पे सब कुछ आ गया, and chapter में I could ahead just cancel it, so I don't have to go through so many things one day before the exam. बस एक पेज भी मैंने रेफर कर लिया तो मेरा काम चल जाएगा. Coming to number of revisions, I made in detail 3 studies of IDT. The first time when I went through IDT, it was all 3 of them were during my study leave. The first time when I went through IDT, it took me 8 days, then 5 days, then 3 days. And 3 revisions are very much enough. Usse zyada if you can do, that's a bonus. But IDT ke liye 3 revisions are more than enough. Now coming to the second bonus tip of this video, always make your own songs. Okay, so there are many things IDT में, जैसे storage and warehousing only of particular commodities like say jaggery, coconuts, coffees and all are exempt. RCM में क्या क्या entries आती है, that is also something that you have to always remember. So what I'd done for this was that this was again written in the classes by Nitin sir had given us this song. So Mr. A was the director in the music company. So director music company covered. He received a call from a terrorist. The company arranged security service, insurance agent. So basically through this I got a summary of what all is covered in RCM, and जो भी मेन इसमें कीवर्ड्स था वो मैंने ग्रीन में लिख दिया इंस्टेड ऑफ रेड. ठीक है, तो ऐसे आप जब कनेक्ट करने लगोगे ना तभी आप you will be able to remember so many things in any particular subject, be it costing, be it IDT, being audit. All right, so yeah, that's it. I hope you all also do very well in your IDT exams and in the other 7 exams also. Best of luck, and hope to see you all as started soon.